Hey everyone, Dan at Bushcraft. Winter is back. We got in just a couple days of beautiful snow, and it's supposed to snow again tonight, and I think the following day before we warm back up a little bit again. But I did a video up here in this area here, about 2 weeks ago, and all the snow had melted, and I was sitting on dry pine needles, and it was nice. And now we've got this winter snow, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna come out and give myself a little winter fire making challenge. So here's what I want to do in these conditions. I'm gonna do fire with a flint and steel, mountain man style. I've got my flint and steel, and I've got some dry tinder in a tinder pouch. These are the things that the mountain men would have had. They would have had their flint, their steel, their knife, hatchet or tomahawk, and they would have some kind of a tinder pouch where they carried dry tinder with them. So beyond that, I'm going to have to gather the rest of my materials. The one thing I have is my folding saw, my silky Pocket Boy Outback that the mountain man did not have. But I would be willing to bet, had the folding saw like the Baco or the Silky been around back in those days, you wouldn't have found a mountain man who wasn't carrying one. So first thing, I went for a little walk because I needed to find a place where I could build me a fire and get out of the elements in case it starts snowing again. So let me pause you and show you what I have found for a little sheltering area, and then we got to go find some resources. So I'll give you guys the lay of the land a little bit here. There's a creek down at the bottom of this little valley. They actually have an old wooden fence that they built probably decades ago down there to keep people from trying to bring like ATVs or something down to the creek to protect it. And what I have found, and I put my pack in there already, is I found this little area up under a fir tree. And so I've got some overhead cover. There's a fir tree and a pine tree growing real close together. I got my pack in here. There's like a big boulder to lean up against on. There's some dry stuff, a little bit of dry stuff. I'm going to use some of this. It's in my way anyway. And then I thought I would put my fire right down here on the edge. So I will be up underneath this tree and put a fire right in that spot right there. So first thing I want to do, I think, is maybe clear out some of that dead stuff that I'm going to use, and it's kind of in my way of where I want to sit anyway. All right. So I'm going to put my back right up against this tree. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out of here and then use it for firewood. So that's dry. That'll give me some small stuff to start it. All right. So that gives me some small stuff to hopefully get it started. All right, let's go see what else we can find. Okay, I found a part of an old stump. It's kind of burned out here, a little bit rotted on the outside. I want to see if there's any fat wood in there. Yeah. So all right, it looks like I got a little bit of fatwood in there. Got my SAPR4 today. Yeah, there's a little bit of fatwood in there. It's kind of wet, but it'll also hold a flame once it gets going. See if I can get a little more of that somewhere. All right. So that's pure fatwood there. And that's drier than the other piece. I'll get a couple more pieces of that. And we'll see if we can find some bigger firewood. Turn you guys around here. So I'm walking down along that old fence. And this caught my eye. Yeah, there's some nice big dead branches sticking out, and there's one just hanging there. Yeah, this one. Yeah, that's just hanging in the tree. So I'm gonna pull that down and take that back to camp with me. That is a nice find. And I'm telling you guys, there's the creek right down below me, so I got water. And I got a decent little shelter. What I need is fire. There's some more on that big tree down there with some more dead stuff on it. And this just has a lot of dead limbs here. I can saw any of these off and lay in a good supply of firewood. Let me work at getting this one down. So this would be a nice piece to pack back. That's good and dry. Snaps right off. Smaller stuff. That one's not quite dry. That's nice and dead. No pitch in it, but it's dry. So let's load. I'm gonna load up an arm load and haul this back over to our fire area, arrange some kind of a little fire lay, and we'll see what happens, see what we can do. All right, I'm back up under our fir tree. This is actually pretty close to being dry in here, and of course I have a small tarp with me, and I can throw that overhead, but since it's not started to snow again, I'm not going to worry about that right now. But I am going to process up some of this, and I'm going to kick out a spot where I'm going to do the fire. So let me lower you guys down. Okay, those pieces are going to be my base. I'm going to saw that up after I get a fire going. I'm going to go ahead and grab my smaller stuff and start laying it on top of these 3 little poles that I just cut. Okay, so I got me a little area dug out right here. I've got the three little pieces that I cut. And I got some pieces that are slightly bigger. I'm going to kind of crisscross those in there. That's going to allow airflow to get up underneath and give some bigger stuff for it to burn down into. And then I'm just going to start breaking this up. Not the real small stuff. And kind of crisscrossing it in there a little bit. Kind of like a miniature upside down fire. You guys have seen me do lots of those. Basically that's what I'm doing. I'm putting the big stuff on the bottom and working up. Giving myself some layers for the fire to burn down into once it gets going. And we'll go a little smaller this time. All right, now I'm going to start grabbing up this really fine stuff, and I'm going to put one layer of it here. Got some pine needles that are semi-dry mixed in. So this is the smaller stuff. I got a layer of it on top of that facing this way. And now I'm going to make another one, and I'm going to set it off to the side. So if I'm able to blow my tinder bundle into flame with my flint and steel, I got some stuff to put on it. So I'm going to try to get this real small stuff that has lots of little limbs on it, like that right there. And make a nice pile of it. And then I'm going to take my little pieces of fat wood and I'm going to put them right on top of the flame, and then these on top of those. So I'm going to work at this for a few minutes and be right back to you guys. I reached up into the higher branches and pulled down a bunch more. Some of it's got moss and lichen and stuff in there, and it's all damp, but the flame should dry it out pretty quickly. So that gives me a bundle to start laying on top of that. And I've got a couple little pieces of fat wood, and I just want to make some fine little toothpick size sticks to lay on top of my flame that I believe I'm going to get. So that's what I was after. I just want some of those because I'm going to put those immediately on the flame. So I got a little piece of bark here, and I'm just going to make a little pile of those on a piece of bark for get them out of the way. So again, I'm just going to make some toothpicks. Nice little toothpicks out of that fat wood. And then so you can see that fat wood is damp right here. You can see where it's darker, that's wet. But then when you get down in here deeper, this is dry. So where this piece was sticking up, the top is wet. The rest will take right off nicely. Of course, I got to get fire with my flint and steel first. I'm pretty confident that I can. Not overconfident, but it's something that I practice a lot. All right. I'll make this one a little smaller. Okay. Again, using the PR4 today. Something a little more traditional in style, Kephart style. And another piece of fat wood here. I'm just going to leave it whole. So let me grab my tinder pouch and my flint and steel kit. And if you haven't seen them yet, please check out my recent videos where I made char cloth. And in another video, I did a little fire kit for you guys for survival, bushcraft, and fun. This is the flint and steel kit. And I have my tinder pouch, and I just keep this full and then roll it up and fasten to the outside of my pack. So I'm traveling with dry tinder, and when I find a new good tinder source, like in the lower country where there's sagebrush and juniper, I refill this. That's what the mountain men did. They didn't wait till the last minute and hope they would find something. When they came across it, they took it with them. So this is filled with just shreds of sagebrush bark. So let me get a bunch of that out and make us up a tinder bundle. Okay, I'm just making a bird's nest like you guys saw in the video on the fire kit. I'm pressing my thumbs down in the middle, making a bird nest, and then I'm also tearing fibers in the center to give some fine material up in the center of that. And I'm going to readjust you guys because I want to blow up. So as soon as we get flame, prayerfully, I'll readjust you guys as fast as I can so you can see what I'm doing as I set it down on top of my little fire lay and start putting that fat wood and other material on it. So I have my piece of jasper. and piece of tar cloth. I'm just going to try to throw some sparks up on top of that. There we go. Can you see that? Right on the edge. Okay. Put that down in here. And there we go. Come on, almost had it. There we go. There we go. That one took a little bit of work. I'm going to set this right down on the fire lay. Get you guys readjusted as fast as I can. Okay. Now I've got these little pieces of fat wood. I'm going to lay them in there first. All right. Those should catch pretty quickly. I've got a little bit more here. I can even break with my fingers of that fat wood. That just gives me something to help sustain the flame for a little bit. And then I'm going to apply this on, but I'm going to try to leave some space so that the flames aren't smothered. And then as soon as that comes up through there, I'm gonna crisscross small little piles of that. All right, there we go. I'll put this last piece of little fat wood on top here. And then start working at some of the bigger stuff that I have here. And then that's gonna burn here, and then it's gonna start dropping down and burning into the lower layers. And I'm gonna have me a nice fire. I've got this tree behind me and that big boulder right next to it with my pack, so that's gonna block off any wind that's coming at my back. Right now it's crossing this way, and this is gonna reflect heat up right into my spot. Very nice. I am happy with that. That's gonna burn great. All right, let me pause you guys, pick my stuff up here so I don't misplace anything, throw some bigger pieces on, and bring you back, show you what we got, show you where, how I'm set up in here. All right, that is starting to take off really good. I just been throwing some more mixture of small and big stuff on there. And it's gonna start burning down now. Oh, and I can feel that heat, and that heat feels good. I got my pack right here. Got my food, got my water. I got a tarp if I need it. I got a wool blanket. And my fire in front. Got a big boulder here, kind of a stump here, another boulder here behind this tree. So I can build me like a little wall, a little horseshoe shaped wall right behind me with just the materials close by. It would only take me a few minutes. And if it starts to snow, I'll just kind of lay my tarp over in the branches overhead. And I mean, man, put my reflective mat right here, my wool blanket, lengthen the fire out a little bit, but trust me, right now this is extremely comfortable. So the big thing would be, if I'm going to stay out here, is to just gather in a whole bunch of firewood and just pile the firewood right here behind me. So whenever I need a piece, I can just grab a piece, throw it on the fire. That feels fantastic. Ground's a little cold, but like I said, I've got my pad to lay down. Got wool blanket, piece of canvas to protect me from sparks and anything that would be coming this way. And of course, this is wool. This is 100% heavy wool right here. And wow, that is comfortable. Oh, nice. So there it is, guys. Dan at Ochco Bushcraft. I just wanted to come out and do a little fire challenge with this sudden, snowstorms that we started getting again. This area again was completely dry 2 weeks ago. All dried out, all the snow was gone. And with all the fresh snow, I thought this would be just a fantastic place to come and test out my flint and steel skills, see if I could get a fire going kind of the old-fashioned way, and it worked out great. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to the channel. Take care, everyone.